So welcome, welcome. With you shortly. Setting up a couple things here. Should be in for a nice fascinating evening. Nice chilled evening as well. Just what you need on a Monday evening. Still haven't learned how to get rid of the community side of things. Also, for long-time viewers of the channel, this takes me back to when we did the podcast and we weren't doing video side of things. If you were around then, this takes me back. What a different time that was. Hope everyone is well. Just checking a few things here because obviously I've got to change how I'm capturing Airline Manager this evening. So just checking a few things before we go ahead. Let us know about audio just whilst we're here. Whether the music's loud or whether it's just there in the background, not too loud. We're all good. Looks like we're all good. Alright. Let me just put Airline Manager into full screen. Job done. Alright, time to jump across. Here we go. Alright, bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Okie doke. A very good evening to you all. Welcome to your he said Tuesday then. Monday flight. No, it's not a flight, is it? Monday stream here on the Departure Lounge YouTube channel. Hope everyone is well. I'll say hello to those who are joining us this very evening. It's not Taco Tuesday. No. 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 It's not Taco Tuesday. Let's say hello then to you lot in the chat. Carl, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Mark, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Jim, evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Evening to Gemma. Darren as well. We're back with Airline Manager. You should be able to see pretty much everything. David's in the chat as well. Hello to you. Hope you are well. Hope everyone's had a good Monday. The song sounds a little louder this time around. Let me know. Is it still a relatively decent audio level? Yeah, it's only because this song I noticed the levels are a little louder. So when the song finishes and another one comes on, it should be alright. The aim for me is to try to not come out of this window. So yeah. David says, is that a pint of iron brew you're drinking? It absolutely is. And I'm doing it in my Vulcan glass, which again you're not going to be able to see because I've still forgotten to put a picture up. But that is a slightly drunk pint of iron brew, yes. I'm on a bit of a crave at the moment for Iron Brew. Purely because it is fantastic. And I won't have a bad word said about Iron Brew. Okie doke, right, let's get into the bulk of tonight. So let's have a quick nosy. Down below my... is that my right shoulder? I'm just having a look at the screen here. Or is it my left shoulder? I think it's my left shoulder. Down below my left shoulder on the screen, there is, for those that are playing, and if you want to kind of, you know, give yourself a little bit of a heads up, there is an offer still, or an offer again. That is on. This has come on probably this in the last 5 hours or so. Normally runs for about 24 hours. There's a boost of some money there as well. $12 gets you 150 mil, and $6 gets you 60 million into the bank for your fleet if you so wish to do so. This is of course on your personal one. The temptation. The temptation. But we're not. Have I managed to collect the bonuses? We have got things like fuel capacity and stuff like that. Just having a look here. We're running a little slow here for some reason. Oh, we can claim a free weekly gift. And we've got something as well which I need to show you as well. So bi-weekly gift. Let's claim that whilst we're here. Whoa, go on then. So we've just claimed our bi-weekly gift and we've just been given $110,000. Look at that. Nice. Happy days. We like that. The other thing I've got to show you, there's a couple of things. I'm just give me a second. It almost feels like everything needs a bit of a run first before they go ahead. Okay. Jim says, for fuck's sake, all I got was 3 points. Was that a cup win by any chance, Jim? The other thing we've got here is a checklist. There's another thing we need to claim as well, which is this. I saw this come up. Our transport, a total of 1,000 passengers, gets us $100,000. So today we are claiming $210,000 without doing anything. There it is. So we've got $100,000 out of that. So now we are on 3.4 million as it stands. Now, Dom says, first of all, good evening to you. Says, I hear you're good at claiming money. Apparently so. Apparently so. Very good at it. Very, very good at it. Yes, I hope you're well. Right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it this evening. We'll have a nice chilled stream to about 9 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit longer. And we're going to make our decision because we have monies to spend. Now, what you need to... I've saved one plane behind because it was at base. Otherwise, the rest are kind of doing their own thing at the moment. We'll have a look at how the routes are doing as well. Carl says, don't forget to check... Sorry, don't forget to click on the get green tabs. Yeah, so this is for, if I show you, 10% discount. So there you go. That's if we want to buy it. But if we go back to the checklist, it's still there. You see that? See how it's still there? That will always be there. That will always be there. I think I used it on the DC9 before. Mark says, can you get info on route yield? You can indeed. We'll get some of that in a second. What I wanted to show was some of our airplanes from when I've been jumping up and down. Oh, it goes once you buy the aircraft. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's all about money and how we're going to use it. So, I've got here again. That's shame. This should come out a little bit further. I think we have got this one here. This is the Stansted to the Isle of Man route that we've got. The Saab 340. Now the Saab 340 is 20% worn. Okay, so what we're going to do? There's a couple of. In fact, there's a plane that's actually a lot more worn than this one. But I'll show you. In the fleet, I do believe it is. It's the Manchester one, isn't it? It's this one here, which is there. You go, yeah, so 25% worn. This Dash 8. However, I couldn't do anything with it because it wasn't back at base yet. So I've stuck with our Saab 340 here. To kind of show you the inner workings of what we need to do. So, when you get an aircraft that's like this, again, depends on how much you want to wear and tear the aircraft, but it does cost you more money. We got 20.8% here for our Saab 340. If we went to maintenance here, it says there are no planned maintenance at the moment. In fact, is that our airplane there? Can we do it with both? It is. Okay, so I'll tell you what. We've got two aircraft that are ready to be maintained, if so to speak. South evening to you, hope you're doing well. If we go to maintenance, we can plan maintenance. Now, you can bulk, so you'll see in order of the wear and tear of the aeroplanes. So our lowest one is this Dash 8 here, which has 5.93%. And if we go up all the way, we've got maybe 1, 2, 3... 3 aircraft that are currently under 10%, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 that are over 20%. If you wanted to kind of do the repair, you can bulk repair them. So you can press bulk repair, and then you select your wear percentage. So if you want to do 20%, there is kind of all the aircraft that are 20% and over for the worn, and then you press plan bulk repair. Takes $9,000 out your work, so we can do that because we're going to be potentially buying new planes today, so we can do that. So if we plan the bulk repair, which is going to go there, and then if we go to, obviously we've got the likes of the hangars and stuff, we can spend some money to increase our capacity by 10 aircraft. This starts at 250,000 but goes up and doubles each time, and it gets expensive, very, very expensive. I'm pretty certain at the moment, for me, to increase my capacity on my phone version is something like $400 million. It's mental. It's absolutely insane. But there is a way of doing it. Apparently, I think it's how much? Yeah, $400 million to increase my capacity by 10% again. By 10 aircraft. It's insane. A way of doing it. 10 passenger points. Oh, interesting. Okay. Another way of doing things is through staff members. And the training. When you do the training here for service, this is the one. It says require 150 hangar slots and 80 training points spent. It increases the passenger slots by 1, and it costs 1 training point. Limited to 1 training per 24 hours. So when you get 150 in the hangar slots and 80 training points spent, you can then upgrade your increase your fleet size by 1 every 24 hours using a training point, to which point we have 3. So we're going to try and save those up as much as we can, and we've got to get 80 plus a huge amount of it's like someone's using a fucking chainsaw outside. What's going on? So here we go. So we got the planned pending maintenance here in half hour's time. Is that half hour? Is that half hour to take? I can't remember just how much it does. Yeah. So Gemma, when you increase your hangar roster, should we call it, the money doubles each time. It's mental. So you got like 1 million to 2 million, 2 million to 4 million, 4 million to 8, and then 8, 16, etc., etc. It's mental. Okay, so other than that, we've got, is it this one that's in for maintenance? Or is it done? Oh, it's done. Cool. So that's done already. So because it was a small maintenance check, they repaired it already, and it's down 0%. So we're pretty much good to go. Gemma says, I suppose it's all in perspective, because the more planes you have, the more money you'll be getting, so it won't seem as much. There's also that. The aim, of course, is to get a fleet of, you know, your typical jetliners and stuff like that. That's the aim. Okay, so £3.4 million in the bank. We've got 12 aircraft at the moment, including the Caravelle for Paul. Now, obviously, the more planes we get, the ones that we aren't going to use as much will probably be sold. And they get sold depending on the location and the market. What's the thing they were talking about? Give me 2 seconds. Let me have a look. Not the Caravelle that's going to Sarajevo. Is it there? There we go. So the market value, basically. So it depends on how much you get back. So if we were to sell this Dash 8, we get 11,000 out of it. Even though it cost us 180,000, we get 11,000 back. Which again doesn't sound like too much, but it is what it is. Let's have a look, because I know we're going to quickly scroll through the route yields and stuff like that. Mark was on about that. This is the Stansted to the Isle of Man. This is what it's been doing, basically. I'll leave that on screen. Hopefully you can see that. We've been hitting the likes of 16 and 17 passengers. By the looks of it. Getting roughly sort of, I mean, the highest one we've had out of that is $4,600. Yeah, literally $4,641 out of that. Flux, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Says, whoa. So that's what you've got. That I'm going to just hang on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna show you what I'm going to do here. In fact, I won't show you what I'm doing. There we go. There you go. Okay. That music got a little bit loud. I was like, no, I'm good. This is our Stansted to Jersey flight again. Roughly, was that 17 passengers, 4,200 the most. Nothing groundbreaking on that one. Flux says that game is awesome. Do you know what? It is very addictive. It really is addictive. Let me know if you want me to go any slower, by the way. So you get an idea for like what types of aircraft will bring in what amount of money. This is the Glasgow Saab 340, the Stansted to Glasgow flight. What? No. This is the yield. I'm looking at the yields here. These are the yields. This is what they're bringing in. So again, the most we've had is, there you go, $5,304 dollars on the Glasgow flight. Remember, of course, we are, yeah, literally 17 passengers the whole way. Let me know if you need me to slow down at any point. This is the Amsterdam flight. Not doing as well with the Saab 340. I know that the bigger planes probably would do quite well. The lowest we've got is $3,904, and the most we get out of it is literally $4,148. Remember, we started off nice and small with this one. The Luxembourg flight seems to be doing okay as well. 16 to 17 passengers again. Almost like filling out the capacity almost. I feel like there should be more than that. $5,049 is the most that we've got out of it as well. So it hasn't really changed too much out of there. That's the Saab 340 flight done. Like I said, if you need me to slow down at any point, let me know. We'll have a look and see what the Dash 8s are doing in terms of the yield. So here we go. Here's the yield. So they're 50. Should have 50 passengers on board. The Saab is also 37. So to get 17 passengers on them, they're not fully booked. $50 passengers for the DC8, the Dash 8 300. We've been getting 21 passengers out of the 50, so not really half filling them, but the most we are getting out of it is $9,775, so it's going up a little bit more. This is the Copenhagen flight. Again, would probably do more if we put bigger jets on them, but like I said, we are starting out small at the moment. This is the Prague flight, which probably seems to be the best one. 23 passengers on that one, but getting the 10,000, which is pretty good. So keeping it within sort of the $9,500 mark, which is actually pretty decent. So we're going to keep that on there. This is the Paris flight again, barely filling half, and the numbers aren't particularly showcase. Sort of between nearly $5,500–6,000, so not particularly brilliant. But again, it's still money at the end of the day. The Vienna flight seems to be doing really well. 22, 23 passengers. So again, not filling out. But because of the ticket pricing and everything else, we're getting a good maximum of like $12,000 out of it, which ain't too bad. So keeping it between $10,900 and $12,000, which is actually pretty good. It's what we want, especially at this early stage as well. That's a really good figure. And the last one, which is the Manchester flight, seems to be doing quite a few numbers there, but it's obviously running at cheap ticket prices. We're keeping it somewhere within the $4,500 to $5,000 dollar mark, which I suppose for a Manchester flight ain't too bad, really. It's not too shabby at all. So that is the Dash 8. We'll have a look at what the Caravel's been doing. Caravel has basically been racking in the numbers because we've got first class seating on board. Albeit being enjoyed by 2 people every time, keeping it within the 23 to 24,000 mark. Chances I've been doing my configurations of 2 first class, 4 business, and the rest economy. That seems to work well for me. Yeah. So the more first and business and that you have in there, it should be pretty good. Jim says checklist done and dusted. Thought a new one would appear, but nope. Oh, I did think that myself. I thought it'd be like daily checklists to do to kind of earn yourself some points, but definitely not. But the Caravel's doing pretty good. This is the Sarajevo flight. seems to be doing quite well for us at the moment, so no signs of getting rid of the Caravel anytime soon. And the Fokker 100, I think, is doing really, really well for us. If we have a look at the yield here, so 90 economy, 5 in business, 7 in first class, and it just seems to be racking in all the figures here, as you can see, anywhere between 29 to 30,000, which has bumped our dollar up. The most we've got was literally 3 days ago on its 4th flight. This was from Madrid to Stansted, $31,261, which sits nicely in the kitty. So, with that decided and that looked at, we've got decisions to make. So we're going to get some airplanes that have already landed back out and get some dollar. Hubs there if we wanted to do them. Our airline's at 2.5 stars at the moment, which actually is pretty good. This is the fuel and this is the fuel and CO2. So we've got a bit of fuel to play with still, which is fine. The CO2 we've got plenty to play with as well, so we're not too worried about that at the moment. It is going to be basically all about bringing in the money. So let's send out the 2 aircraft, which is the Paris flight and the Amsterdam flight. So that gives us an extra $5,600 and another $4,100 there as well. So at least we've got another 10 grand in the bank. So it's now time to decide what we do with $3,400. Sorry, $3,400,000 or 3.4 million, depending on how you want to pronounce it at this rate. We got a little message here to say about upgrades. Various add-ons for your company can be acquired using the passenger points. You can get upgrades such as fuel and tank increases, cargo ops, and capital routes, to name a few. Let's just have a quick look at that, because capital routes are vital. Capital routes 350 points. So okay, so we've got some work to do in order to get there. So we need to know, or we need to decide what to do here. Essentially, we're going to be buying new airplanes. So in the green is what we can afford. Let's go to what we can afford. 3.4 million will get us. If we keep scrolling. Gemma said 2.1 million. She's looked at 2.1 million. Let's have a look. So Gemma's looking around the Hercules, ERJ 170, MD 80, 737-200. Sorry, no, take that out. It's literally 4 aircraft here. Hercules. It's a lot of money for one airplane. At this stage, it's a lot of money. So the most we can afford, if we want to shell it on one particular aeroplane, we could do 737-400, E190 E2, the SpaceJet M90, or an A220. Other aircraft we can use is the slightly cheaper CS100, essentially the A220. 737-300, which does work quite well on routes. 737-600, which has a lot of range, and 18 less passengers. Or what we do is we can go back to the likes of a Caravel 3, or we look towards something like, because essentially you either bulk buy or you spend it all on one. So you have the likes of BA146 there for 600, but I think that's actually less range than the other one. I think best way to look at that is there. So that's 2,400 there for the BA146. 2,400, and that's 2,000 there. So that is more money but less. We've got a Dash 8 there, which we could potentially use, 70 passengers. If we keep it around this sort of mark, this is what we're looking at. Then we got to the Ilyushin IL-18, which it's not going to be any good for us. So, choice is yours. What do we do? Do we just spend it? Do we spunk it all on one airplane, or do we bulk buy to bring some more money in? I know what I would do. Or what would you do? How many spaces have we got left at the hub? Says Carl. That's a good question. So we've got, I think it's something like 12. We've got 12 passenger aircraft. We've got a passenger capacity at the moment of 20. We can up it for 250,000 if we wanted to. So we can up it by another 10. Mark says I'd sell the aircraft and buy a cocktail bar in Gillingham. Brilliant. It's a good idea. Not this time though. Gotta chase your dreams. I mean, if that's your dream, then by all means we're very supportive. We're very supportive of it. So we've got the option. So we've got 3.4 million. We can take it down to 3.2 million. I think 3.2 million by using 250 grand to up it by an extra 10. It depends on what we do. Do we bulk buy, or do we just, like I say, spunk it on an airplane? Literally just one airplane. Does just depend. Depends on what you want to do with it. Like I say, it's not just it's not my airline. It's ours. Carl says I would take 2 or 3 planes and keep $1 million in the bank. So you're looking at roughly, I mean, mental calculations here, 3.4 million. So what's that? So let's say 2. 24000. Divide that by 3. So yes, we are looking at literally about 800,000 per aircraft, if that's what we wanted. But that's the most we could spend. So if we go down Carl's option, we would look at literally anywhere from not the Dash 8, the Strato Cruiser down, essentially. So the Strato Cruiser down, not that one. Clicked that by accident. Jim says about getting the Strato Cruiser. Get a cruiser. I'll give you a little top tip here. This here, the Lineage 1000, which is the Embraer. Essentially the private version of the Embraer. I have this in my fleet. If you've been looking at Discord, you'll know it's in my fleet. And what I did was, give me 2 seconds. Is that any good? Maybe not. Okay, ignore my suggestion. I've just looked. Ignore my suggestion. My suggestion would have been to literally all first class and then send it long distance. It turns out it didn't do well on the on the routes I've got it on. Hasn't done well. So ignore that. The other option we've got is literally like the ERJs and stuff. 50 passengers, but they do have a bit of range in them. Just for my own sort of thinking is that the BA146-300 at the moment seems like the best value for money. So we could pick up maybe 1 or 2 of these for $1 million, or 3 for 1.5 mil, because it's got the range on it for quite, for a distance. The passenger numbers are pretty decent for 112. I think the only thing that gets close to it is the FOC 100, which we do have already. Mind you, the Tupolev 104's got 100 passengers. But then the Stratocruiser is 117 passengers. So it is... You want like the lucrative routes as well, because we haven't got the capital option yet. One of each, says Gemma. Gemma's thinking Tupolev 104, the BA146, and the Cruiser. Dom says, what we buying? And I'll tell you no. Don't tell him anything. DC910 has a good range as well, and there's discount on that as well. So essentially what we're looking at is we're looking for, at the moment the Cruiser does have, Cruiser's got the edge, but it's almost, because those passenger numbers. Carl's going for okay, 146 DC9 and a Cruiser. Okay. Loving the suggestions. I can't really think of any. I mean, the other option we've got is a DC6, which, although it's got 56 passengers, it has the range of 7,000 kilometers. But I'm still thinking we need to kind of get as close to the 100 mark as possible for passengers. The DC9, we've got a discount on there and gets us 90 passengers. Albeit not the range, but the DC6 has a very, very good range on it. A very good range. And so does the Stratocruiser. Sarah, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. The 104 has a very good range for what we need it to do. I mean, we could. Choices. So what are we thinking? Realistically, the ones below here are all going to be very short in terms of like passenger numbers, apart from like DC4. Again, DC4's got a very good range on it as well, but it is very slow. Carl says DC9 on discount, can't go wrong really. I don't think you can. I'm just looking at DC9. It's a good way to start things off, even if it is a short one. You could send it to either like Scandinavia or even Spanish routes. And like if you pick up 2, that's $1 million. And then you've still got like 1.4 million to play with. So we could pick up 4 aircraft here today if we wanted to. and then that will start to bring in numbers. And I'm looking at the Tupolev 104B here as well, because it's got 100 passengers, and I think that's going to suit us quite well. So my thinking is to go down the 2 DC-9s, a TU 104, and maybe something like a... don't know. Maybe like a Strato Cruiser or something. Or even a 146. In fact, I like that idea better. So we're thinking 2 DC-9s, a TU 104, and a 146. And then the more money we get, we can actually add more of those in. Does that make sense? I mean, people are going DC-9, so should we go DC-9 first? Because it is on discount. We could send it down to Spain if we wanted to. JT8D7 engines, obviously based at Stansted. Let's give it the Stansted code. So 527,000 for this. I mean, it's pretty decent. That's pretty good, to be fair. Let's get 2. Takes up to, there you go. So literally, we are spending $1 million, depending on now our depending on obviously like our configuration. Dom says this is such a weird, such an odd airline. Well, you got to start somewhere. I started off on my phone. I started off with a really wacky selection of aircraft, and then modernized it as we went on. Got to start somewhere. Are we all in agreement? 2 DC-9s. Yeah, Gemma's like, go on then. Right, let's configure it. So we've got 90 seats. I'm thinking we put some first class seats in there. So first and four in first, 6 in business, 65 in economy. Dom says get 5 Airlander. That's not on there. It's not on here. Definitely not. I think that could give us some good money. I mean, we only had an extra million. Sorry, extra 100,000 on there. So I think that's it's a pretty good deal, right? Right, 2 DC-9s coming our way. Bosh. There we go. Now we can deliver all 2 of them for just a measly 6 points. Let's do it. Otherwise, we're waiting 20 minutes. And I ain't got 20 minutes to wait. So, 2 DC-9s. So we now have, if we have a look here, we've got 2.2 million to spend. So essentially, we have got 1.2 million if we're keeping $1 million. So we are now limited to 600,000 if we wanted to keep $1 million. Because my thinking is, when we send it out with places, we can easily traipse that money back. Do the routes for them now? I think so. Let's do the fleets. Let's go to fleet. So we've got a fleet of 14. There we go. So we've got 2 DC-9s. Let's see where we can send it to. So capital we can't do yet, so we literally have to scroll through a lot of the international routes here to see where we can send it, and this is of course the routing for where we want to send it. Now it will suggest one first. Give me 2 seconds. I might need to put this into windowed options because it's doesn't like being captured at the moment. It does not like being captured. Slightly laggy. Right, anyway. Let's go back to fleets. German says Iceland, Palma de Mallorca. Get your suggestions in. Let's have a look. Let's route it. On an international route. Here we go. So there's Vagar. And it's not as demanding. $5.95. If we go to Iceland, Reykjavik 700. Akureyri, no. I tell you what, it's not in demand, which is very odd. Not in demand. Okay, interesting. Which means we now go down to the likes of a Palma. Oh, this game's having a right hissy fit. It does not like being captured. Right, so Palma, not in demand. 326. That does surprise me. Ibiza, not any good. Menorca, not any good either. Let's have a look around Spain. Lleida, no. Teruel, no. Albacete, no. Alicante, no. Surprising the numbers are very low here. Granada, no. Cordoba, no. Badajoz, no. This is very surprising. Very, very surprising. Let's do other international routes. Just try and get some more Spanish routes up. So this, I don't know why it's not enjoying it, like being captured this evening. It's weird. Oslo or Frankfurt. I think the longer we send it. San Javier's pretty decent. Almeria, no. Granada, no. Malaga's low. The Spanish routes are very, very surprising. Jerez, no. What about Lisbon? Probably the better one at the moment. Porto, no. Goodness me, I'm shocked. I'm surprised that the Spanish routes aren't in popular demand. Bilbao is 430, but that's mainly it's mainly Spurs fans. What was the other place? Oslo. Nice was mentioned. We'd have to try. We'll have a look at that in a second. It's not liking being captured today. Oslo, I think, comes up as a capital, because we're going to have to literally do the thing here to other international routes. Frankfurt's 561. Trying to think of places like a Belgrade. 464. I mean, you got like Italian places. Naples is 455, 545. Brindisi, no. Palermo, no. Trapani, no. Pisa, no. Look at what's going on here. Literally, it's a case of trying to find a route that's got a very good number of passengers for demand. This is crazy. Geneva? Sion, no. This is crazy. Not even Innsbruck. What about Munich? Okay, we found one. We found one. Munich with a demand of 1,130 passengers in economy. Let's keep Munich in mind. Nothing in Croatia comes up. Not Zagreb, I don't think. Munich is a very good number. Should we set Munich up? Oktoberfest, here we come. I think Munich's getting the nod. Let's auto price it. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Route cost is 55,000. We can make that up easily with 2 or 3 flights. Let's give it a flight number. of 133. Let's create the route. Let's send it to Munich. Let's see how much money we're going to make. How much do we think? How much do we think? Jim says, have you tried the research function? I've dabbled with it. I haven't actually properly had a look at it. Carl reckons 27 grand. Gem's gone 9,000. Okay, this is going to be pretty much for our future. Let's see if we can get some money in for this. Here we go. Oh, it's a good number. It's a very good number. 19,000 for Munich. Not a full aeroplane, but a very, very good number to start with. Right, we've got another one to send. Change the reg because my OCD's kicking in there. Right, let's route the DC-9 here. Again, international. I mean, do we go domestic? I'm not entirely sure why the game's having a hissy fit. It is not liking being captured tonight. We got some aircraft that need departing as well. Let's do that. So we got 4,600. And another 4,600. And 5,000. So is that another 14 grand if that? Pretty good. Don't know why the game is taking its time. Also, why are we not able to... Why are we not able to route here? Keeps coming up with that one. That is not even showing. Why is it not showing? Let's depart the sub there. It's another 4,200. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I might need to just reboot the game here because this is laggy as anything. Give me 2 seconds just to do that. Jim says Prestwick to Warsaw 146 and just got 40k. There you go. People starting to pinpoint and pick out the routes and stuff. It's quite good to see. Give me 2 seconds here just to relaunch the game. Sometimes it's what I've noticed as well. Sometimes there's a little bit of a bug when you've got a plane that just doesn't show. Right, can we route it now? We can. Right, and it's running a little bit better as well, so let's go for it. Okie doke. Right, here we go. So the dash. So I don't want to do domestic. I prefer international for it. Game's running a lot better now as well, which is great. Right, so I've also worked out, or I've got something on mine where Kiev seems to be doing quite well. But we cannot pick Kiev. At the moment, but Kiev supposedly does quite well. For figures. Turkey, we can't get the DC-9 to Turkey. It simply won't go. Pristina has 803 for passenger demand, which I think is pretty decent for the time being. Have we got any suggestions in this range here, where you can see the dots, where we could potentially send it to? I mean, I'm looking immediately at Helsinki. Have you not got any points, Gemma? Yeah, again, the demand for... I mean, Keflavik ain't even there either. David's gone for Dubrovnik. Let's see if it's come up here. Brack Island. Mostar. Rijeka. Okay, did not come up. Kosovo, yeah, so Pristina is probably the best one at the moment. Carl's gone Stockholm. 871, which is better. So Stockholm looks like the likely option at the minute. Helsinki, that's not the one. $446. 333, 160, 335. Copenhagen 984, but we've got a dash 8 on it at the moment. Estonia normally does quite well. We might need to refresh to bring Estonia into play here. Let's do that. Let's just see if Tallinn comes up. Tartu. Tallinn, there we go. 808 for Tallinn. So 808 is pretty good. Riga, this is David. Riga's looking really good. 1037. And we're not flying there at the moment. Just out of interest, the likes of Warsaw. Modeling, not great. Dortmund, Paderborn. Just going through some German places here. I think Riga might be the best option. Setif, Algeria on a 146. Jim says getting 50 to 60k on it regularly from Prestwick. Goodness me. I think Riga seems to be our best option. Let's do that. Let's price it up. Pricing is pretty decent as well. 86,000, which means that's more than what we did to set up the previous one. Let's give that a flight number of 6545. Okie dokie, let's create the route. And time to guess how much you think this will cost us for the first leg. Like to play a little bit of a guessing game. How much do you think? Carl reckons 25k. Gemma's gone 39 grand. Should we have a look? Here we go. Ooh! Carl was close. $27,000. So we're starting to. This is where we now start to make some money, which is good. We've got 2.1 million left to spend, which means we got 1.1 mil, which is about what, 550 grand each. Let's have a look here, because I think if we get the Saab departed, that's another 5k. If we order, so let's have a look. So about 550, wasn't it? 550. So about there. DC3 down. We could. This is the one that we can afford, and we can get 2. I'm thinking we go down the route for what Jim's put with Setif and things like that. Everyone's going 146. Let's go 146. Because essentially what we're trying to do at the moment is we're trying to build the airline and get as much money as we can. Oh shit. Right, we've got 112 passengers. We can stick quite a few places on here if we wanted to, or kit it out literally 37 first class. That would be a lot of money if we kit it out with 37. That would get us a bit of money. But you got 56 in business, or we go down the route of something like that for 2. Dom says all first class. That's why I went for that, but I got told off for it. 7 business is such an odd number. There you go. Might just have one person sat on his own. Who knows? It's alright. It's fine. So if we go back, let's order 2. So 1 million. That pretty much is under the budget that we've got, which I think is actually pretty good. So we're happy with 2 BA 146s. Gemma says yes. I think this is what we're going down. Get them ordered, says Carl. Get them ordered. There you go. We can deliver 2 for 6 points. Bosh. There we go. We got 2 aircraft parked up at Stansted. Right, here comes the best bit. We've got to try and have a look and see where we can send them to. So this is the range in which we can send. Vagar doesn't come up just yet. We can let's there we go. So Vagar. Oh, Vagar's not. The demand isn't great. That is very surprising. Normally it is quite high. That is not. It's not high at all. Yeah, for Vagar, that is very surprising. 595. That is very, very surprising. Stockholm, 871. What was the other places that were mentioned? Like Dubrovnik was mentioned as well, wasn't it? Dubrovnik, does that show? Zadar, Rijeka. Nope. What was the other places that was mentioned? Somewhere in Algeria was mentioned. Setif is not. The demand isn't fantastic. What about Tunis? Tunis ain't bad. Mallorca, no. No. Valencia, no. Very surprising about these Spanish numbers, by the way. Barcelona's 808. Mark says Naples. Nope. Rome isn't there. Milan? Lenate's not. I mean, this is it's weird how the numbers work. Salzburg, no. Warsaw, no. Budapest being mentioned. It's not a bad shout. It's not brilliant though. What about Kiev? Not that one. Or that one. That's not the main international ones. Linz, Vienna? Oh, okay. I think it's random. I think they do just randomize for the particular plane, I think, or the demand for the day. Or so. I'm sure they randomize them. I'm absolutely sure they are. So Bratislava has given me a good vibe here because it's 3 numbers in 3 digits. Bratislava looks like a very good shout. Out of interest, Seville. No. Yeah, Bratislava. That to me looks like the best shout. Unless anyone's got any other suggestions. If we let's have a look at some of the Greek islands here. Zakynthos, no. Kefalina, no. Ionia, no. No. It surprises me again. Skopje, no. 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 Bucharest, no. Chisinau is always a good one to go to, but the numbers aren't there. Bratislava then, I think. Tirana is actually pretty good as well. 874. That's normally pretty good as well. Pristina is up there too. Podgorica 824. Let's go with Bratislava. Numbers looking pretty good. So we could get quite a bit of money for this. 86 grand, so I reckon we're probably about the 20s, I reckon. About 20, 25, 26 grand, something like that. What do we think? We're down to 841,000. Gemma's got 28 in the guess. $23K for Carl. Let's have a look and see how much we're going to get for it. Are you ready? Ooh, $28K. $28,609. Actually a pretty good return, to be fair. And there you have it. So our fleet looking pretty... Oh, we've got one more. Oh, we've got another one to go. My bad. Okay, this is a good shout. Good shout. Right, remember some of the places that we had before in good numbers? What's it suggesting? Somewhere in Finland. Barcelona's up there. Right, where do we think? Alaska? No. No. I mean, unless you see Alaska in this selection here, you're not going to get it. Gibraltar's not great either. Dublin's not great. Zagreb's there, but 642. What we thinking? Where are we sending a BA 146? Sticking on a domestic route. You can go back and have a look. Right, so here's what the domestics are then. So we've got 262 for Dundee. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. 329 for Newquay. 166 for Exeter. 184 for Bristol. 246 for Cardiff. We've already got a Manchester run going. 312 for Liverpool. What would it be for Manchester, just on the off chance? 445 for that. Blackpool 284. Leeds 360. Durham at 681. That's quite a good number, to be fair. 420 for Newcastle. 233 for Carlisle. Prestwick 383. Main Glasgow 464. It's a very good number for a short flight as well. I'm half tempted to send it on a rotation just to see how much you'd make for it. If we go back to Durham, the flight would be 26 minutes. I don't think the ticket numbers would be great though. Aberdeen 171, Inverness 330, 412 for Wick, 302 for the Orkneys, 372 for Lerwick, 314 for the Shetlands, Stornoway 224, 321 for Bolvanich, Bale Martin 405. Belfast 353, 445 for Belfast International, Derry 237, Enniskillen 525. Fucking Bell, what? I'm not. Shut up. Criticize my pronunciations all you like. I'm half tempted to see what the ticket prices would be like for this, because it seems to be all economy. So it would take like a rotation of 52 minutes. Oh, the place name's wrong. Is it? Which one? Bowl. Ballyvanich. Is that right? That's not right, is it? Ballyvanich. How do you pronounce it? Or how do you spell it if that's wrong? Cars need to fill the higher seats. Let's have a look and see what the ticket prices are like. Ben Bakula. Not even fucking close. Not even close. Let's have a look and see what ticket prices would be like. We can go back if the ticket pricing isn't great. Something tells me we'll probably get like... it's hard to tell. I mean, it's cheap enough to do if you wanted to. But the route cost is 37 grand. You can normally tell by the route cost if it's going to be a good one or not. So we're looking at what? Probably about 10,000 back? If that. So my thinking, okay, so here's what my thinking is that we do it, we send it out to Durham, back to Stansted. That would take what, 50? So it takes up to 10, about literally 10 o'clock, if that. Paul Hussey, by the way, coming in with a gifted membership, going to Tim Clark. Thank you, Paul Hussey. Your Caravelle is doing really well for us as well at the moment. So I'm thinking we extend the stream out to 10 o'clock and just see what it's like. Because bearing in mind we can alter these ourselves, right? But what we don't want to do is outprice it to the point where no one flies. Or do we stick it on an international route for the meantime? I mean, we've got first class seating, so we could do it if we wanted to, just for, you know, a rotation and see what happens. We're going to have aircraft landing left, right and centre if we can. Jones says give it a go, and if it doesn't do well then stick it on international. Should we go for it? Let's create the route. It is a short flight. In fact, we can actually do that. We can do that. Let's stick with domestic. Let's go for... Is it this one? Enniskillen. Let's have a look at the ticket prices for that. It's more. And it's an hour's flight time. 51,000. That tells me we're probably getting about 15, 16 grand out of it. It is double the flight time. How much was the Durham one? I think we've already got it on that route. What do you reckon? I reckon we do Durham and just see. Let's see what we can get out of Durham. Let's do it as a like a charter flight sort of thing. Let's see what we can get out of Durham. Right. Here we go. Let's have a look and see how much we get out of it. 14 grand. I don't know if that's good or not because obviously it's the first rotation. 14k seems pretty decent. We've got 2 planes that have landed. We got this one here. Our Dash 8 that's currently at Paris. Giving us another 5 grand. We might look to maybe rejig this one or something. We got to look for like maybe the worst performing one and then rejig. Amsterdam flight. Maybe not made for a Saab. Gemma says another 14 grand on the way back too, so 28 grand for an hour's flight ain't too bad. It's not, to be fair. We've got to send this one back to Stansted. I might have a look and see what we can do with that. Let's send it. Okay. So this is our route network as it stands. Our Fokker is nearly back from Madrid. If we have a look here, you can see we're making steady money with this with the Fokker. Insert jokes here, of course. So the airline is... it's getting there. Slowly but surely it's getting there. The next goal we've got is when we start making all this money, obviously in a week's time we should come back with a bit of money. In a week's time we should hopefully be somewhere along the lines of being able to get something like... do you know what? I didn't even see that. I did not see the Constellation because I think that could have been a good one to have done. But essentially, we are looking at maybe, hopefully, I want to try and get something like, if you're feeling like it's the best option, something like a 737-500. It's got a huge range on it. Or like an MD-80 or something like that. It depends again, like you say, how we go about it. But we're a long way off the likes of a VC-10. The Tupolev 154, DC-8s, 727s, we are a long way off that yet. Long way. But it's the grind that does it. Like I say, if you're on your phones, you've got a deal for these two here. So if you do fancy adding to your fleets on your phones or other devices that you're playing on at the moment, and you fancy building a fleet, you can get yourself an extra 20 million for $6 or an extra 50 million for $12 and get some points in there too. If we have a look here at the features, these I'm finding like very difficult to try and get. I don't know how you would get them. That's the thing. Well, anyway, you do get them. It's through packs. But the problem is, if you buy money, it's going to go straight in there. It's going to be a... Yeah. It's not grinding from the ground up, is it, really? Right, let's depart. It's $5,000 for the Manchester flight. That's heading back at the moment. And then we got some time here for our aircraft to come in. Our first Munich flight is going to be landing in half hour's time. If we remember, we made 19 grand off of Munich, so it'd be interesting to see what we get on the way back. And like I said, throughout the week and stuff, when we're streaming and doing everything else, I'll be having this on in the background so that we can try and get some money thrown in as well. So yeah, the other thing we've got is obviously you've got to keep an eye on the maintenance. Obviously we've got wear and tear that's getting quite heavy. So what do you reckon? Do we try and get, like, we've got a couple aircraft, or in fact we've got 6 planes above the 10s. Gemma says, when would be the best time to do maintenance? I haven't done any on mine yet. I would say the best time to do maintenance is probably about the 20% mark, I think, to try and keep the cost down. So if we take this top plane, for example, which is at 21.02, if we repair it, you're looking at nearly, what was that, 3,800. If you can keep the cost down, that would be your best chance to do it. If we look at bulk repairing here, and if we go to like 20%, we've got just the one plane there. But if we go 10%, you'll have a list of like how much it's going to cost you. And 12 grand to sort these planes out, I think is pretty decent. So I'm just wondering, do we do this now and get them down to 0%, and then they're fresh to fly again? Especially this one here. Because again, that's obviously the cost. You can see this is your kind of your guide here, Gemma, for like the pricing and everything else like that. Obviously, it depends on the type of aircraft as well. But the pricing, like I say, you got 20% there compared to your 10%. That's going to be like 2,000 cheaper. So it's just saving your money, sort of thing. So I just wondered, do we go down the route of getting a bulk repair now for 12 grand? Get them all done, says Carl. I think we do. Jim's suggesting that plane gets in for repair for Gemma. I would say so. Okay. So you can see in red, these are the planes that are planned for maintenance. We've got one plane coming in, which is the Fokker. The Fokker's the next one, so we're going to get an extra 30 grand coming in. So that will again make up the money from what we've just ordered. Jim mentioned about the research section. This is basically to do with your max distance, your minimum runway length, and arrival into any country, and it will basically throw in a route suggestion. Here you go. And it also gives you your markets and everything else. So it's a good one to do, really, if you wanted to. Belarus apparently is a popular location. Tunis is one for the J class if we wanted to get some money on that front. So this is a good little thing to kind of gather. This will give you an idea for like what places are kind of, you know, what are going to be suitable for your needs. Again, like your Tirana, Pristina, Iceland, Tunisia, Macedonia's up there as well as a potential location. Gives you a good idea. I look at it from time to time. And you can see, depending on the amount that the aircraft has of wear and tear, the aircraft is currently pending maintenance in an hour to like 23 minutes, and so those aircraft are out of the reckoning for the moment. So there you go. Paul Hurst says, any plans to do cargo charters? Well, there is. We've got to get there first, and the only way you can get there is through these points. We need 450 of them, of which we have 179. Now, like I said, there are ways of doing it through the sales and everything else, but the problem is that you can't just buy these points by themselves. You would have to get them through purchasing money, which, yeah. Not great. Very quickly for Gemma, if you go to the fleet section and then go to research, so where you go for the ordering of the aeroplanes, if you go across to research, that's where you find the bit that Jim was just mentioning. So yeah, this is the problem here. So if I bought, oh god, no. Did not mean to click that. Once again, that's not gone through, so it's fine. But this is the problem with this, is the fact that if I wanted to buy 200 to take it up to, or you know, something like, I can't get any of this on its own. Which is annoying, because otherwise you got to then have 10 million in the bank, and it defeats the object. But the problem is, I don't know how you get the points. the points are the ones that obviously we need, but I don't know how you actually go about them getting them, unless you get it from like the checklist item complete, apparently, which I think is that one we did. Carl says if you bought the top deal, you could sell the 320. Well, you could, but then you'd have 80 million in the bank already. And that's the problem. So, again, like I said, you just can't buy these points on their own, which is a little bit annoying. I'll tell you what, the other thing I've just realised is this. You get a real funky A320 VIP with 2,500 points. So I looked at this and saw this on someone's thing. I was like, how the hell did you get that? Turns out this is how you get it. So for 2,500 points, you can get yourself a VIP A320 in a very funky colour scheme. So yeah, I mean, this will take me on to, yeah, not enough points. And if I want to increase it on the account, I'd have to purchase dollars as well. The $8 one is actually very good value. 80 million, you can get a lot of airplanes for that. And an A320 300. I've just seen it, A320 300. It's not, it's a 200. For $8 is actually very good. Which would be what, 8 quid or maybe less than that. So it's good value. Right. Our Fokker has landed. Seems to be doing well on the Madrid run. That offer comes up as $6.99. Yeah, so it's because it's dollars into UK stuff. Carl's asking about fuel. It's still looking pretty good. So what you could essentially do is you could put a random number in of like just all the 2s, and it would give you how much you actually need. So if we wanted to buy, say, 1 million? Yeah, 1 million for fuel, that's 2.3 mil. Is that right? 100,000 is 200, so that gets us an extra 100,000 for fuel. But at the moment, that's quite high. We're currently eco-friendly, so our quota's looking pretty good at the moment. The quote across is $109 at the minute, so we're doing all right. Do we want to keep our Fokker 100 on the Madrid route, or do we try and reroute it? This is the next question, and I think we're sort of then closing out the stream. John Brown, evening to you. John says, I took a shot at playing this game, doing it while cruising in Flight Sim. You soon get addicted to it. It's crazy. Have no idea what I'm doing, but making money. It's once you get the hang of it, it's it's pretty decent. Right, let's have a look at the plane here. 2 seconds. So we need 6,000 feet of runway. Range of 4,300. So let's go maximum range of 4,000. Minimum runway length of... Let's go 4,000 as well. Into any country. Can we send it there? Apparently we can. We can send it all the way to Africa if we wanted to. Market isn't great though. Jordan. But we can't send it to Baku, surely. That's the minimum runway length. Oh, minimum, of course it is. Try again. So, really? You send a Fokker 100 to Baku? Nouakchott is the one for first class. Is it realistic to send a Fokker to Jordan? I don't think it is. A couple of Russian routes. I'm going to go 3,000 for the distance. Let's have a look. Okay. Turkey looking pretty decent. For Ankara. Top L. Bodrum. First class would be, yeah, Western Sahara for J class. Let's try and reroute it. The Caravelle has landed as well. Let's leave the Caravelle. Let's not screw with that. Right, the Caravelle's going to go back to Stansted with 24 grand coming in. Pretty good. Let's reroute the Fokker. Let's have a look. Fuck me, that I'll tell you what, that range is insane. It can. Look at that. That's mental. That is absolutely crazy. So actual Amman, not too bad. Ankara is at 953. Istanbul is 593. All that way in a Fokker, man. Could you imagine? Algiers, not as much. Rome, not as much. Now we could. So look at the numbers for Madrid here. 968, 256, 76. It did suggest Copenhagen then, but I didn't see the number. What do we do with the Fokker? Carl says Frankfurt. Doesn't show yet. Zagreb looks okay. Send it to really? Send it to Baku. It's not the same as the Madrid one. Beirut normally does quite well. Ziggity Z, thanks for subscribing to the channel. We can actually send it to Saudi Arabia. That is mental. Mark says Sophia. Let's have a look at Sophia. Oh, Sophia's looking pretty decent. Should we send it there? It's further than Madrid. Could make more money on it. 911, 230 and 239. I think it's very good numbers. Carl's just like, send it. Send it. Right, let's have a look at the pricing. Oh, look at that route fee. Look at the prices. That's more than Madrid. That's a hell of a lot more than Madrid. And the route fee as well, 132,000. This could be a big one. This could be a huge one. Joe says, I'm guessing 48,000. Should we try it? Let's absolutely send it and see if we can make money off this. Right, here we go. Oh, look at that. 40,000. That's a good number. So we're starting to make some money now. So if we have a look through, we've got 2 aircraft that have come in. That's the Copenhagen flight. 9,000 there, that's fine. Jersey flight 4,000, that's fine. 40,000 is very good. Right, let's do a quick, I'm going to do a quick totaling up here. Give me 2 seconds. Let's say 4,600. See what kind of money our routes are making here. Let's say 4,200. 4,900. $4,100. And then I'll end the stream. I think we've been very productive this evening. Plus 5,000. Average of like 9,300. Let's say 9,900. Let's say 5,600. Let's say let's put on biggest route here to Vienna. Let's say 11,000. Let's say 5,000. Just doing a quick mental math here. Caravel's doing really, really well with 24,000. DC9 picked up 19,000 and 27,000. BA146 to Rennie 6,000. 14,000. And the Fokker with the 40,000. Cool. Okay. So, as it stands, so with each rotation of all the aircraft is about $216,000. So you imagine doing that roughly every day, you're getting a good amount of money every day. So we could be in a very good position come next Monday. The pending aircraft are pending aircraft for the maintenance. So you can see there we've got 5 aeroplanes waiting on maintenance. And yep, the 146. Back from Durham, here we go. So Durham to Stansted, here we go. Yeah, 28k. Yeah, spot on from Gemma. We can actually find that aeroplane, which was this one. There's its yield, slightly lower. But yeah, about 28,500 from just going to Durham and back. You suggested it. No, I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, it's about nearly $250,000 on each rotation, which I think is awesome. Like I say, once you start replacing these aircraft with jet engine planes, you know, like your 737s and stuff, you'll see a huge difference. So there you go, boys and girls. We've done it. We have been very productive this evening. Our airline is looking in a very good position at the moment. Got the Caravel for old time's sake coming in from Sarajevo. But we've been very productive. Hopefully, by the next time that we stream, we should have quite a bit of money to then further add to our fleet. Tomorrow we're on Ryanair 737 from Exeter over to Palma de Mallorca. So hopefully you can join us for that. Another 5,000 into the bank. There you go. So is everybody happy for me to continue doing things in the background? Just want to confirm this each time. Are you happy for me to continue flying? I won't do anything like maintenance or anything. Just literally get them flying, get the money in, and then we'll know where we're at for the stream. And try and buy fuel when it's cheap. I can do that. Let's send the Saab back out again. Cool. And I suppose the other question is everyone enjoying it? I know it feels like not a great deal's happening and everything else, but is everyone enjoying it? I know it's not for everybody. Yeah, Gemma, that will probably help. That will probably help. We've got a goal to get towards as well. So I'll just show you ideally what I want in our fleet. But again, it's not down to me. It's down to you lot. So ideally what I want in the fleet is what I'm thinking is we could potentially replace Paul's Caravelle with a Caravelle 12. I think this is what I want. I want to keep a Caravelle in there for Paul. But ideally in the fleet, what I'd love to have is these, the A220 300s, obviously A220 A320s, maybe a 340. Maybe the 300 or the 600. Got to try and slimline the fleet down when we get to it. The idea, basically, you get carried away with buying all sorts of planes to try and make money, and then it's all in a case of trying to slim it down to having a very small fleet type, but having quite a few of them. 321XR would be fantastic. XLR, sorry, would be awesome. I have 3 of those in my fleet on my game. From Nuki, heading to places all over the world. A310 would be good. You could use that for cargo, if anything, when we eventually get cargo. I'm going to have a look to see how we get more points without getting money as well. 2 planes in. DC, I'll tell you what, the DC-9 has gone in already. So let's get the the Dash 8 back out from Prague, giving us another 9,900. Let's see how much we make on the way back from Munich with the DC-9. 19,000. Which is this one here. Yeah, roughly the same. So that's 38,000 from the DC-9. Pretty good going. John says I got some ERJ 145s and they do pretty well. And James says I want a 777 to do the Japan route. It's all in good stem. If you have a look at the 777, so you got options for the 200, which is 60 million, 65 for the LR, 68 for the 300 ER, or 91 million for the 777X. Or the fictional 777-300 LR. Who knows anything about that? Who knows anything about that? Carl says it doesn't look like the 146 is on sale. I don't think it actually is. No, it's not on sale at all. Just the fact that it's cheaper than the actual BA146. Which, that is a steal if you compare the two. More passengers. Yes, it uses more fuel, but it's quicker and more range. That's a bargain. Fuel at the moment, Gemma. 2,340. Could be the same for everybody. It's always worth checking. In fact, let me have a look at my phone. Hang on. Compare it with what's on my phone. Yep. I've got the price change in literally 2 minutes on my phone and the computer. So that price does change. And it is the same. So yeah. So when it gets to low, give me a shout. tag me in it on Discord. And I will purchase it. But until then, I think that we're going to leave it there, because we've got 7 minutes till the next aircraft comes in, and we're going to leave it there. Cool. There you go. So I'm glad you're having a lot of fun with this. Back with a flight sim tomorrow. Looking forward to the next one with this. I think we could be in a very good position if we have. So what's that? 2 hours. Could be looking at maybe $1 million a day. Possibly. We could come back with like 4 million to spend. I'll keep you posted throughout the week as to how much we got to spend next Monday. But it could be very good. And continue to add to our fleet. Boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. I am going to end the stream now. There we go, like that. It's been a pleasure, as always. Thank you so much. It's been very, very enjoyable. See you tomorrow, 7:15, Ryanair. Top tip for anyone leaves. The stream won't be scheduled. I'm going to try a multi-stream tomorrow. 7:15, keep your notifications on. I'm going to multi-stream tomorrow. So not just YouTube, but I'm thinking possibly either Twitch or Kick. One of the two. I'm thinking Kick, just to see how it goes. So, won't be scheduled, but 7:15, mark it somewhere in your head, on a bit of paper, or put the notifications on if you haven't done so already. 7:15, Ryanair, Exeter, to Palma de Mallorca. Right, boys and girls, until then, enjoy the rest of your enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Whatever you get up to, have a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow for some more fun and games on the Departure Lounge YouTube channel. So for myself and the moderators, thank you for your contribution tonight in terms of the choice of aircraft, etc. If you haven't done so already, feel free to hit the like button on the way out. Helps the channel out immensely. Until then, for myself and the moderators, look after yourselves and each other. And it's a very good evening to you all. There we go. Very good evening to you all. Bye for now.